We can make our own money.
We know you can.
We can build. We don't need your money.
Don't care.
It's like at the end of it,
why do you even want to get married? You said you want to get married. Why?
Because I love men. I actually like men.
But why get married?
But you know what? Actually, this is a point I've always been wanting to make. I've come to realization that men don't actually like women.
That's not true.
They just see us. No. All you see us is for sex.
No.
If you respected us, you would want to know.
Is this how I've come across in the past 3 hours?
No. I do think. I mean, that's why you're getting hate, though. That's why you're getting hate, because you have a bit of a balance.
I'm mostly getting love. I'm just saying I think there's a couple guys in the chat who have what I call red pill rage.
Yeah, but as soon as you start talking about
there's a talking point that comes out oftentimes when I do these, that men don't like or respect women simply because they acknowledge that men and women are different. And they're not, what bothers me about it is that I hear very vocal women. I hear women saying, this is what I want, these are my non-negotiables, and they feel that they can say those things in the modern world. Feminism, whatever it may be, has empowered them to have that voice. When you have guys turn around and say what they want, condemned. You're a misogynist. What you said, oh, you're a pedophile. Oh, you're this. Why can't we have an equal playing field here? You want equality that everybody can say.
When women ask for dumb things, they get roasted all the time. How many times we made fun of... It's like one of the most played out jokes is the woman with the Tinder profile saying, I only date guys above 6 feet tall. Or I'm a single mom looking for a guy to take care... And I saw all sorts of these profiles in California where I'm a single mom and I'm looking for a guy to take me seriously and my 3 children. And it's like, Jesus Christ. But people like this get made fun of all the time. I'm sure you've told a million jokes about them. I've told a million jokes about them. Shows like Pearls literally exist to tell jokes about these people. So I don't know whether the idea is like, we can never criticize these people. There's like a whole industry built around making fun of those types of women.
So what do you say to a woman like that who says, oh, men don't care about women, men don't respect women, by virtue of caring deeply about these traditional... By virtue of him essentially saying that men by nature want to lead.
The way that red pill people talk about women makes me feel like they're full of contempt, like they're carrying baggage.
Do you think that I'm full of contempt for women?
No, but like I don't care about your particular opinion when you're running cover for this entire community.
I'm not running cover for anybody.
You are, of course you are. You're running cover for the whole red pill.
I'm not running cover for everything.
You're justifying.
I'm telling you how I feel. I'm not running cover for anything.
But we're talking in the context of the red pill stuff, and you're defending their opinions.
Well, I'm defending...
Your question was literally like, is it really so wrong what they say? And then I say, I think some of it is. You're like, well, have I said that?
I'm
well, no, you haven't.
defending my opinions. I don't
agree
with...
Then why are we talking about videos with...
Because I think it's interesting to get your reaction to what I cover all the time.
Your question was about me and how I feel about they feel about women. I don't think you hate women. I don't think you do.
But you
were on The View.
You
can't hate women.
folks in the red pill community. Well, that.
Or maybe being on The View made you hate women. It almost made me hate women. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you ever? That would be.
I was never on The View, but I watched. It was that penis in the garbage disposal joke that really got me. Made me real mad.
You should have been on there with Hillary Clinton when I was on there. You would have had a blast.
Goodness. I bet I would have. My queen.
You would have had a blast. Is that your queen? Is that your fan?
I like her a lot.
Oh, I told her she was tone deaf, and I didn't have a job 3 days later. So you never know.
You should have brought a pack of spicy hot sauce for her.
There you go. To be clear, and I don't even consider myself red pill because when I look at red pill, they all disagree. Like they all see the world differently. You've got I don't know how familiar you are with the Belmars. I bring them up all the time on the show. Luke and Nate, who are not into male promiscuity, who are very pro male empowerment. Get in the gym, do all this stuff. They're very you'd love what they have to say about microplastics, but they're very into the wellness space. But they're also saying like, hey, guys, don't, there isn't a separate set of rules for you here.
Here's something that I know to be true. I know a fair amount of conservative women. I have never in my life, maybe there's a reservoir of women somewhere that feels like, I have never in my life gotten this collection of conservative women who are like, I really like dating red pill guys. Like they really have it figured out. I love their approach to relationships. I like the way I get treated. I have never heard them in my life. I have gotten a lot of emails from women that are like, oh my God, I'm worried this guy said something in a date and I think he listens to Andrew Tate. Or, oh my God.
Conservative women say that too.
Yes, we'll say absolutely. There's a whole... I don't want to name names, but there's like a whole group of conservative women on Twitter that I'm like kind of tangentially friends with who rail against this stuff all the time.
Are they actual conservatives or are they like, is it like a Mitt Romney type of thing?
They're so conservative.
Is it like a Mitt Romney type of thing?
They're internationally feared conservatives. That's how conservative they are, okay? But like, but you'll never hear it in any of these conservative women communities. I don't know if you're in it. I don't believe you heard it, even if you tell me you have, where these women are like, oh yeah, these red pill guys, like they're so good to date. I love dating them so much. All of them seem like men that are who hurt you types. All of them seem like they're carrying baggage. We won't get into that. A lot of them seem like they have issues because of the communities that they come from. And then when you listen to them talk about women, it feels like it's so much contempt. These single moms, these sluts and whores, the OnlyFans girls taking advantage of everything. It's never like, I don't see like these respectful communities of men who are like, yeah, like I'm a guy, I work really hard, take care of my body, I take care of my stuff, and I'm trying to get in a relationship. It's always so much more contemptuous than that. That's the feeling that I get when I watch almost all of the content.
So I feel that way about some people, truly, like when depending upon what I'm watching. But
let me qualify, from what I've seen in this studio, even from is it Paul? Who I disagree with on almost everything. You guys seem very classy and respectful here, and I'm not just saying it because I'm on your show. You guys, so maybe in this particular arena, maybe it's a bit different. But my God,
I mean it is.
Out there in the rest of the red pill community, it's insane.
I've had Sterling Cooper on, who has, I don't know how much you know about Sterling. Sterling is former mega porn star. I would say, I don't know if he would call himself red pill, but very much aligns himself with a lot of red pill, I guess, talking points about, women and whatnot. But we've sat down and we've had great discussions. Justin Waller was on here. We actually disagreed about body count when it comes to men, because we also disagreed about, not body count when it comes to men, but he feels like, guys can get away with sharing women. And I was like, women are not going to want to share their man. Like, bottom line, like they're just not going to.
Although you said earlier that 50 women would date one guy.
No, listen. Low value women will do that. High value women will not do that.
But it's the same thing with low value men and high value women, right? Like 50 men would probably share like fucking some celeb woman if they have the opportunity to.
That's right.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah. So we've disagreed, and we've but what I do feel is that Andrew Tate is very different for me, because I spent a lot of time. He actually triggered me in a big way when I first started doing this work. I was like, who is this guy? What is he talking about? He rubbed me wrong, and then I did a boatload of research on him and watched a lot of stuff. And I actually feel that he's very unique in that if you really pay attention to him, I mean, he does often very much talk about, the importance of women in his life and the beauty of being loved by a woman.
And women, right?
But no, I mean, seriously though, like I think he very much, I don't feel a disrespect toward women from him at all. I don't like to pair, Myron with, they're all individuals and they all have a different approach. I think Myron has a book out now, Women Deserve Less, that I want to read. I'm curious to see what his take is on that. But oftentimes what I hear from these guys is like feminism has structured society in such a way that men are now at a disadvantage, and that men are being told their masculinity is toxic, and men are being told to sit back and shut up, and men aren't allowed to have a voice, that if they say, hey, listen, these are the things that are important to me, it's invalid in some way. So they're trying to give men a voice again and say, listen, you, number one, you need to improve your life and do what you need to do for you so you become the best version of yourself to attract more of high value women. And I find them to be very tough on men as well. You're saying they're tough on women. I find them to be very tough on men that are lazy, men that are fat, men that are spoiled, men that are entitled. So I think it's just I have an appreciation for what they bring to the table. I don't agree with everything, but I think that men need a wake-up call as well.
I agree.
And I also think that women, I don't know why it's problematic to tell a woman, like, hey, if you have an OnlyFans, your future daughter is probably going to be negatively affected by that, and you need to own that.
Every single OnlyFans girl knows this. None of them disagree with that. Of course, there's a decision.
That's not true. We cover it all the time, and they say, no, this is mine. But regardless, like, they exist. These people exist.
I'm sure they do. And we can find one of any person that exists.
Not one. We cut tens upon 20, upon 30, upon 40.
350 million people. Even if you showed me 1,000 of them that existed, it would be a statistical irrelevance. There's a lot of people in this country and a lot of people in the world, of course.
But then you would never be able to do a reaction show on anything, because you would then say, well, this isn't representative.
It's important to be, because when we're giving audience, when I'm giving advice to an audience, what I'm trying to think of is like, what is going to map onto most of your realities? And like a woman in one of these red pill videos saying, I want to date a guy that makes $500,000 a year at least, is not the average woman. Most people in my community are not going to unless I've got people that live in Beverly Hills, are not intersecting with women like that.
I grew up with women my whole life who said I want a six-figure man, and I did not grow up with money. So, okay. I mean, but
maybe most
not 500K,
probably
but 100K
didn't marry
for
six-figure
sure.
men.
I don't know about that.
There's not enough six-figure men out there. I'm telling you, it's statistically not possible. How many men make six figures? Like 3%?
But that's still what they put out there, and they were comfortable saying that.
Yeah, and most men think that they want to date a 22-year-old supermodel, but at the end of the day,
but they're not comfortable. But here's the difference.
Yeah.
They can't say that without being labeled a pedophile.
Of course, we say it in our porn preferences. We say it in our media preferences. We say it in the age of women cast in music videos and movies.
And you come in and say, oh, it's a pedophile wants to control his woman, and he's like, okay, well,
when you say you want a young, submissive, breedable, trainable woman that just stays at home and makes coffee and cleans your house, it sounds kind of weird.
I've never heard them say just stays at home, makes coffee and cleans
your
house.
Dude, I press so many people when you say you want a woman to compliment you or help you in your life. What do you mean by that? And the best answer I've gotten is takes calls for me.
That's strange to me.
What is your answer? What is besides? It doesn't involve like a family. What is like a thing that a woman can compliment your life?
I do think of it in terms of a family, but me, like truthfully, like what I provide. My husband is very much a go-getter. He's that guy who's like always working on the next project, doing the next thing. And for me, what I find that I really helps him is when I can bring peace to the surroundings as opposed to chaos and turmoil. So I do.
Have you
find
ever
that
given him
men-
like feedback on a project?
100%.
Yeah, and I bet you can only do that because of like the life that you've lived in like media success, right? If you were just like a normal random like ditzy whatever girl, he probably wouldn't ask you about anything, I would imagine. But he probably can ask you specifically about things because of the life that you've lived.
I don't think that, I don't know that men generally. I don't know what the dynamic is like in households, whether men ask women for advice on business opportunities and
but most men aren't like running businesses and doing things,
I think in most married
right?
couples, I think what's missing is that for many years we acknowledge that because men and women are different, we complement each other in different ways. Like I don't think it would be odd to me it's not odd to me. It doesn't trigger me for a guy to say like, I want to be the head of household. Somebody's got to be the head of household, right? Ultimately, even if you're having a discussion about something, somebody's got to pull the trigger on that final decision. Right? So why should it trigger me? It doesn't at all, actually, because I tend to be more I'm sitting here now with a big microphone, but when I go home, I'm very much like, babe, whatever you want. I do play that submissive role because that's what's comfortable for me.
You say that, but this isn't even a traditional conservative role. I don't believe that. Like there's a reason why there's a saying, happy wife, happy life, right? Like, and that's another thing that I don't like too. All these red pills,
but that's a problem.
They'll say things, that's not a problem. Every good conservative man will tell you that. I'm sure Paul would say that he's not going to tell his wife, this is what we're doing, and that end of discussion.
But
sure
it
that
doesn't have to be like that.
Well, no, I know, but it's a collaborative, cooperative process. At the end of the day, when you're like are both split, then maybe somebody has to say something.
That's not what happy wife is. Happy life is not collaborative. That means that you do whatever makes that woman happy, because if the queen's unhappy, everybody's unhappy.
No, but you're both working together towards a common.
That's not what happy wife, happy life means.
We have totally different
happy
sayings
wife,
of that.
happy life means like, let me just make her happy, whatever that is, and then there'll be peace in the house. That's not healthy.
Happy wife, happy life means that you're living your life in a way where you're accounting for what your wife wants, rather than just you go to work, you go home, she makes you shit, and then you go to sleep and you ignore it.
That's not what happy wife, happy life means. Guys have been ridiculed. I mean, that's just not what it means. You have men all the time will say happy wife, happy life, because what that means is that if you go against the queen, or if you do something she doesn't like because she's essentially the head of household, that you're going to be miserable because there's going to be an aura of terror in the house.
To some extent, yeah. But what you're saying is like, if you do something she doesn't like, if you like ruin the fucking house, if you destroy the dishes in the kitchen all the time, then of course she's gonna be upset. But I think that happy wife, happy life just means like taking a basic accounting of like how you exist in the relationship.
That's your
and making sure that your wife.
That's not how.
Okay.
I will guarantee you that's
for
not
my
how.
conservative, raised 12 years Catholic in school and everything. But for my conservative understanding of relationships is that like the man might be the head of the household, but there is like equal collaboration or partnership, or sometimes the woman, like the man is the head of the household in terms of how it faces publicly, but the woman is the one that exists in, runs the household, and manages the children in it. So
That's
to
true.
say that like the father has like the final say on things, when the woman is doing the majority of the shopping, when she's doing the majority of the caretaking, when she's actually upkeeping the house and caretaking the children, of course she's going to be the one that's like making a lot of the big decisions in the household, like more so than the man.
We're not disagreeing on that. If you like the short clip and want to watch another short clip, click here, or if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.